All right, guys, what's going on? So we've had some stuff going on here at the shop. All right, so as you can see here in this bay, there is no longer a maroon flatbed Ford 7.3 Power Stroke. We got it done, sent out the door. It's gone. The owner has it. He's ripping it up. We have some things in store right there. As you can see, that is an industrial 12 valve Cummins motor, P pump right there. We're gonna put that in the old blue 79 Super Cab short bed patina truck. But for now, we also got some massive freaking wheels for the 4th gen. They are the biggest set of wheels that I have ever had in my entire life. Not the biggest set of in existence in the world, just the biggest set that I've ever owned personally in my life. We got us a set of 24 by 16. That's 24 inches tall, 16 inches wide, with 35 1550 tires on them. And they are beautiful on this thing. Check it out. Look at that thing. So, now you see how she sits currently. We're on a 6-inch lift in the front, and we have 4-inch blocks in the rear. And it only sits a 1/4 inch off front to back. The back is a 1/4 inch taller than the front is. And we only have about a turn and a half of the steering wheel before we're rubbing on the front. So I have a 2.5 inch leveling kit that we're gonna put over these coil springs right up here in the fender well. So we're gonna go 2.5 inches taller in the front and try to get some more turning radius out of it. See how we're setting from there. And I might end up taking the 4-inch blocks out and putting the 6-inch blocks back in that was originally on the truck whenever I got it. So we're gonna pull it in, pull these front tires back off. Front tires and wheels. This one here, I got this set of wheels for a really cheap deal because this one was busted. This one had a cracked lip. Oh, where was it? It's somewhere around in here. The lip was cracked and it was leaking air. Well, my buddy Max that I rent the shop here with does aluminum TIG welding. We brought the tire inside, busted the tire off the wheel. He went through, cut the crack out, and welded it back up and then shaped it all back out with his grinder. He's a freaking professional with that crap. So we'll lay some paint on it later on, but that's why that looks like that. Anyways, we're gonna bring the truck inside the shop. I already got the lift set up for it. So these wheels are so wide on the truck that it won't fit between the 2-post lift. It won't fit between the feet of the 2-post lift. So I have to lift the lift up and drive under it first, and then lower the feet back down so that I can pick the truck up. But we're gonna get it pulled inside, get the front tires off, slap this leveling kit on, see how we're gonna set from there. I mean, I know it's gonna be nose high, obviously, but if it's not too terrible, I'm probably gonna leave it because I don't wanna go too much higher in the back end with it, because then whenever I hook my gooseneck up to it, it's gonna put my bed rails really close to the neck. And I don't want that. I don't want to be putting my bed sides into the neck of the trailer. Nobody wants that. But anyways, I'm gonna set y'all up on the tripod. Gonna get the truck pulled in here and go from there. Let's go. All right, she's in here. We're gonna go ahead and let the lift arms down, get the front end off the ground. I'm not entirely sure if I will actually pull these wheels off all the way. I think I'm just gonna try to do it for now with them on there. That way the axle will be able to roll and sit on the ground. So let her down and start going through the things we need to take apart. Let's go. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear me. I got the fan on in here because it's toasty in the shop. But as you can see right here, from the top of the tire to the bottom of the fender is 12 inches. And we're still rubbed. So we're gonna put the 2.5 inch leveling kit in between the coils and the coil buckets themselves and try to get up a little higher. So we should be around 14.5 inches to the bottom of the fender after this. So this fender line will be up here at 14.5. So for starters, we're gonna get the tools out and go ahead and disconnect the pitman arm, the steering link off the pitman arm. We're gonna disconnect the track bar there and then unbolt the shocks there and over there. Probably have to disconnect the sway bar too. Maybe not, but probably. We're gonna go from there. I've installed a couple of these kits on these models and 3rd gens. So that should be all that I have to disconnect. I should be able to get enough space and whatchamacallit, what's the words I'm freaking looking for? Be able to get this coil spring out, put the spacer up in there, and then get the coil spring back in. So I'm gonna set you guys up on the tripod and go ahead and pick it up off the ground and go from there. Let's go. All right guys, we got her all busted apart. Got our spacer. So this sucker is gonna go up here in between the coil pad, and the bucket here. And these 3 bolts hold the shock tower on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those on. I was able to get the axle dropped out far enough to get the springs out without disconnecting the steering on the pitman arm. So that's pretty neat. But we're gonna go ahead and get the spacers on and go from there. Try to get it all buttoned back up and back together. See how she sits. Coming along nicely. Let's go. All right guys, she's back together and she's big, a lot bigger than I thought it was gonna be, but it's awesome. We had to do some little redneck ingenuity to get the steering wheel lined up, not lined up, but get the track bar in. So we got a little ratchet strap going to the door panel here so we can get the track bar hooked back up, but everything's back in, back tight. Our fender wells are back in. Looks beautiful. 2.5 inches higher, and it made a difference, let me tell you. Look at that. Let's get it outside and check it out. All right guys, I don't even care if I don't get more turning radius out of this because this is just sick. Like, I don't know why this made so much of a difference, but check this out. Look at how beefy this thing looks. Just going up another 2.5 inches in the front. Look at that thing. It looks massive. I'm gonna get the tripod and stand next to it so you guys can see. Look at this ground. bigger than I thought it was gonna be. Way bigger. I guess we'll go ahead and do an overview of it right now while we're here. Might as well, right? So it's a 2010 2500 4-door long bed. So it's got the softer riding suspension being a 2500. So it actually rides amazing for what it is. Like being a 4-door long bed on 2500 suspension, having that extra weight from being a long bed, it rides. It's the best riding truck I've ever had, to put it that way. It's the best riding truck I've ever had, whether it's hooked to the gooseneck or not. It rides amazing. It is an SLT, so it's just got the black and tan cloth interior with the flip-up center console. She's got just rolled 211,000 miles today. I got a little bit more work to do with the service trailer brake light there. So the story on this truck, I actually got it on trade. I did some trading for it, and I got the truck with an exploded transfer case in it. The transfer case is over here. I'll show it to you real quick. So here's the original transfer case that was in the truck. I don't know if his front drive shaft failed and caused this, or if the transfer case failed and broke the drive shaft, but they were both broke. So in doing that, it broke the fuel lines, both feed and return. It broke the brake lines. It broke some wires in the wiring harness, and that's pretty much it. Like the rear drive shaft was still connected. The batteries were all still connected and everything. I traded for it, broke. I went to the guy's house, brought 3/8 brake line, or not brake line, 3/8 fuel line, rubber fuel line with me. Fixed the fuel lines at his house. We jumped it, got it started up, and then loaded it on my gooseneck, and I hauled it home. But it's a bone stock 6.7. Still has the EGR and everything on it. We do have to do that. We'll take a video on that one sometime. But it's straight piped. This is a pre-def truck, so there wasn't any of that on it. All I did was just take the factory mufflers and everything off and put a straight pipe on, and it's got a tune for that, like a tow tune. But other than that, it was on a full 6-inch lift front and back whenever I got it. So now it's on 8.5 in the front and 4 in the back, which I think it makes it sit perfectly. We do have to straighten out this front bumper. Bend that, tweak that bumper back down a little bit, but I am in love with this truck, absolutely in love. Next thing we're gonna do is some cab lights, get rid of that slick top, then probably throw some rock lights underneath it. But heck yeah, I am in love. Let's go. All right, so one of the biggest things that's bugged me the most about this truck since day one is this bumper being bent up. It's always had this bend up right here, up into the fender. So what we're gonna try to do right now is I got a chain hooked to the back side of it right here. Right in there. We got it wrapped around the fork on the tractor, and I'm gonna attempt to bend it down and straighten it back out. Let's see how this goes. First attempt. We're kind of getting somewhere. We're almost to the bottom of this. It was all the way up to like almost here. So we're kind of getting somewhere, but she still needs some more tweaking. All right, guys, I got it. Literally, look at that sucker. Oh, that's so much better to the eyes. I ended up having to pull down on it and then back the tractor up a little bit to kind of tweak against it. But that looks so much better. I'm rolling with it. I don't want to do any more and end up screwing it up. Let's go. seeing at the beginning of the video, said we had a 12 valve in the shop for this truck right here. That is going to happen. I just wetted it down so you guys can get an actual visual of how she's gonna look once we actually get it clear coated and get this patina taken care of. It is such a clean, straight old truck. She's just got rust, but we're gonna run it. We're gonna name it Tetanus Shot or something like that. We're gonna put clear coat on it and secure this patina exactly where it's at. Slap that 12 valve in there, and I'm still trying to decide on a transmission to use, because either way I'm gonna have to use an adapter plate. I'm either gonna have to buy an adapter plate or I'm gonna have to buy a transmission. If I buy an adapter plate, I can use one of the Ford transmissions I have over here. If I buy a transmission, I can use the Dodge adapter plate I have inside. So it's kind of like a hand-in-hand thing, but that's where we're at. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Like and subscribe. Peace out.